Welcome back to An Average American's channel. Today we will be reacting to some pretty terrible answers that Social Democratic students gave campus reform when asked about various political topics. Please be sure to check out their channel and website to watch the entire interviews and maybe even consider donating, because I will be very honest here, I did cherry pick the awful ones, which were the majority, but there are some students who I assume are not socialists at all, maybe Democratic, but not for socialism, that gave some pretty sound answers from their perspective that is worth hearing. For the sake of this video and for educational purposes, we will be showing the majority of these young Democratic socialists and what they want. So hopefully if you are considering such terrible ideas, you'll reconsider after realizing that what socialism really wants is selfish gain unless it affects them. I will be making a video in the future about how capitalism is the best answer to our social issues, but for now, let's go ahead and take a look at what these entitled socialists have to say.
There have been a lot of talks in society and in politics about the federal government wiping out student loan debt. Does that sound like a good idea to you? Would you be for that?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, I would.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Who wouldn't want less debt?
I think that everybody that goes to school should be able to go to school debt free and be able to start off their career with no debt to owe to anybody.
That's not how the world works.
Are you in favor of getting rid of student loan debt?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of money to come out of college with, so.
I guess you could raise taxes or something, for other people or something. I don't know, but that's other people paying for your stuff, you know?
What are these kids learning in school? I swear.
Right.
So,
the federal government wiping out student loan debt. Would you be in favor of such a plan?
Yes. Because we need to get an education, and every job that we need requires a degree, and people can't always afford it, and it puts us in debt forever.
Right. So since you don't have student loan debt, something we're asking students is, would you be willing, as someone who has no debt, to pay a little bit more so that some of your peers who do have debt could get that erased off? Would you be willing to maybe pay more tuition, pay more taxes so that someone could get their debt lowered?
Probably. Maybe.
Maybe? What's the part of you that maybe is a little hesitant about that?
Because, I have to make my own money, so, if I make my money, I kind of want to keep my money that, I make and not have to, give it to my friends, you know?
Would you be in favor of paying a little bit more tuition so your nice friend here wouldn't have so much student loan debt?
I'm kind of selfish. I'm going to say no. I don't want to be broke.
I don't know if it would necessarily be fair, because it shouldn't be the other students' problems, basically. That's what I would say.
Why do you think it's maybe more fair for someone in the real world, like a taxpayer, to pay more, but not maybe someone on a campus?
Because they have their own other issues that they're still paying for, even if it's not student debt.
Sure.
So they have to take care of themselves as well.
But don't you think maybe someone who's working and has a family, don't you think taxpayers have things to take care of too?
Yes. So I guess I'm not really exactly sure what I would say, but I agree that they do have things that they need to take care of too.
Cabot Phillips with Campus Reform. Today we're at Florida International University talking to students about their opinions of socialism and if they'd support a socialist GPA policy. Would they be willing to share their high GPA with people that have a low GPA? Because after all, it's all about equality.
This next question is my favorite one that they did, because when it comes to socialist democratic students, a lot of them tend to be reliant on their parents' wealth, or they have student loans and are not working to pay towards anything yet. This makes students underappreciate the hard work it takes to pay for things or to make an honest living, and it makes them undervalue money as a whole. But they are the first to tell you that college is a full-time job, which I can agree depending on certain circumstances, and that it takes a lot of time and hard work to get a good GPA, which in turns means better job opportunities and better pay. So when asked this question in this way to these students that live to work hard for something and make sacrifices to overcome the stresses of maintaining a higher GPA, then they finally have some perspective of how normal everyday taxpayers working hard and sacrificing to keep them and their families above water view their hard-earned money, and why they are against having that taken from them simply for helping everyone else out that has not put the same effort or time into their lives like they have. I'm sure you know where this is going, so I'll go ahead and just let these students kind of speak for themselves.
After all, it's all about equality. Which would you rather have in America, socialism or capitalism?
I would say socialism.
How do you view the word socialism, favorably or unfavorably?
I guess I would go with favorably.
Like I have family in Europe, they go to college for free, their healthcare is paid for, they don't have to worry about it at all.
I favor that over capitalism.
Okay, got it.
I also think I favor that, like, socialism over capitalism.
Socialism is more geared toward like helping the people in your, the governed.
I'd rather people have that same opportunity. There's a lot of excess in America.
The main idea of socialism being that people at the top are doing their fair share to help people at the bottom, trying to prevent disparity of income and trying to prevent excess, as you called it. So on campus, if there's a GPA disparity where there's people at the bottom with a poor GPA, would you support a policy where people at the top spread the wealth and give that GPA to people at the bottom?
Help them get a better GPA?
Yeah.
I'm all for helping. I wouldn't give let me just give you some of my points.
But it's about being fair, right? We got to help people at the bottom.
I've lost a lot of sleep, so I don't know if I will be fair.
It's hard. I guess it would be kind of like hypocritical for me to say no.
That's completely different.
How is it different?
Because I'm like studying all day for my grade.
We work hard for our money, so.
What do you mean by sharing it? Like literally, like giving them a chunk of my GPA?
Yep.
Dang.
I would want to say no straight up.
But what's the difference between earning a high GPA and not wanting to give it away, but then earning a lot of money and also not wanting to give that away?
Well, I feel like the difference is that you study for your grades, right? And grades often reflect how much time you spend studying. But
You gotta work pretty hard to become a millionaire.
I mean, I'm not denying that fact either, but for the regular working person,
I mean, I sacrifice a lot to get my GPA. I don't go out as much as I'd like to, but that's for a greater goal in the future, the way I see it. So no, I wouldn't sacrifice my own things, like sacrifice my own time to help somebody else who didn't want to make those same sacrifices.
I'm starting to think that these students are actually not for socialism like they think they are.
There's some people who are in the bottom, but they really are working, and there's some people who are in the bottom and they deserve that poor GPA.
Kind of like people making money with their income?
Exactly, you know what I'm saying? Like some people. Let's not throw shade.
But isn't it about helping the less fortunate?
Basically profiting off of my work for you. So who's really the bad guy here?
I don't think that'd be a good idea, because then you're taking away from people that earn that grade, and what about the ones that aren't really working hard for their grades? So they're just gonna get something they don't really deserve.
Got it. And do you think it's similar with your salary?
Yeah, I definitely do.
No, that's the complete opposite of meritocracy. It's the complete opposite. That's like awful.
I don't think they're comparable because your GPA is not directly linked to like your quality of life necessarily.
But you still have to earn it the same way you'd have to earn a salary, right?
Well, I don't think most rich people in this country necessarily earn it. Much of that money is inherited. Much of that money, is made from the stock market, which isn't, they're not actually working for that. They're pressing a button behind a computer for that. I mean...
Yes, but how many people are specifically in that class or category where you think it's appropriate to sit there and enforce a policy amongst the rest of America that are nothing like that and are hardworking, struggling to feed their own families? Why do you think that we have to force a policy like that on them to pay for things that are not benefiting their own lives? How? How is that logic?
I mean...
Well, then there would be no point to having a GPA, because then if everyone has the same, then there's no metric, right?
But it's all about fairness, right?
Well, is it fair? I look at it this way, right? Is it fair for everyone to have the same outcome or to have the same opportunity, right? For me, having the same opportunity is what is fair, right? Not the same outcome, right? Because if I work harder than you and I get a better result, then it is only fair that I get a better grade or I get a better opportunity than you, right?
So this next video, this next question that we're going to be displaying is actually from PragerU. If you guys want to check out their channel, I'll have it linked down in the bottom. Be sure to check out the interview in full, and we will get into the video now.
Do you think that people in America should be allowed to have guns?
No, not at all.
No.
No, I don't think they should.
I don't really see the point of really needing a gun or
so why should they have it?
Guns in general for me just feel like they're more unsafe than safe.
Yeah.
I feel like having a gun makes it like easier to just go around shooting people.
I feel like with a gun in my house, I would feel less safe.
Yeah.
If my dad owned a gun, like I would feel less safe.
Okay, I think people should be able to have guns, but I think there should be like really strict regulations. I'm pretty sure like you can be a 14-year-old and just walk in and like get a gun.
About 94% of mass shootings happen in gun-free zones because people who are going to shoot people know there won't be anyone in there with a gun to defend themselves. So do you think that like in a gun-free zone, we could have people who actually have guns, not make them gun-free zones, and then people wouldn't go and commit mass shootings in them as much?
I think the idea of someone in my community walking around with a concealed weapon just in case somebody else has a concealed weapon is terrifying.
It would have to be like a police type figure, but not like a police officer, but like, you know, like a designated gun person.
I don't know. It's like that wouldn't happen if guns weren't allowed, you know, out in the open.
One broke into your house, how would you defend yourself?
I'd try to grab whatever I can in my house to hit him, then I guess, yeah, just wish for the best.
Yeah. But if you had a gun, then you wouldn't have to wish for the best. You could defend yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not too paranoid about people coming out to get me because I'm a nice person.
So you say you want to ban guns, right? But the government's corrupt and spends money badly, right? So technically you would be giving your guns to a corrupt government. Then the government, these corrupt people, would be the only ones who had guns.
I need to go.
Learn anything new?
Yeah.
Yeah?
A lot.
A lot?
Yeah, it's kind of like making me think about my perspective. Like
Yeah.
the things you were asking, it's like making me question what I think.
Yeah. Did you have fun?
I had fun talking.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Did
for
you learn
inviting
anything?
me.
Yeah, you just made you like
I just you just made I'm me gonna go think
my
about it
point
at
and
home.
Did your head just explode at that last one?
Yeah.
I think people just need to be more informed.
I agree.
Because come on.
Alrighty, thank you so much for watching today's video. There will be many more to come, so please be sure to subscribe so you can be notified when more are uploaded. I know I cherry-picked the answers to more of a biased side of the conversation, but I want to inform all those watching that young Americans are what they are thinking, especially when considering socialism, and hopefully this can be helpful to educate one another and come up with actual solutions to our problems that maybe government should not be handling, since they are issues that I believe we the people can handle on a community level or issues that we can address at home. Let me know if you would like to see more content like this, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!